Hi, Noel. I want to talk about social media today. And specifically, I want to talk about the emphasis that people place on social media, about how we use it, and specifically how we use it as a medium of connection and to build relationships. I wanted to ask you, how healthy is social media within our social sphere to build and maintain relationships?
Hi, Sabrina. I think this is an amazing topic to discuss, and I hope that in the limited time that we're discussing it here, that we open up our viewers to some different ideas on how to evaluate social media for their own healthy use of it. Let me also just ensure our viewers, I am not an expert in this area. However, I've taken a great deal of time to learn about the impacts of social media on our mental health, our social health, and our educational health. So I do feel pretty confident on sort of adding to the conversation, if you will. So let me just start off by saying the most important thing is that when you're using social media, from my perspective and many professionals out there, they've suggested that you find out you're using it for. Sort of define what you need it for, whether it's an exchange of information, whether it's an exchange of connections with perhaps family members, friends, people who live not geographically close, but figure out what it is that you're using that for. Maintaining a healthy use of social media may be limiting the amount of time that you're on it, limiting the number of connections, making sure that specifically that those connections are positive connections for you, and that you are set up to be prepared for the exchange of ideas that maybe you don't agree with. And that's really important to recognize, because not everyone on social media is going to have our same opinion. And certainly you can siphon out those who have differing opinions if you choose to do that, but recognize that there may be that lack of opportunity to be checked or challenged or to grow, because you're not seeing the world from different perspectives. So that's important to remember from that standpoint. So I think if you keep those in mind, that could lead to some really good success on social media.
Yeah, I agree with that. I there's such an interplay between our social sphere and our mental sphere. And
Yes.
recently, I removed two people who I believed were friends from my social media accounts. And I did so because I felt like seeing some of their posts was not good for my mental health. So it was my choice.
Mhm.
So I was questioning, and I guess this is where this topic came from. I was questioning, does that mean if we're not social media friends, well, are we not friends in real life? Um, because now these two individuals and I haven't exchanged any communication. I guess I don't know. I think I'm still trying to figure this out. What are your thoughts on this? Because I know
Absolutely.
we're not alone.
Mhm. No, Sabrina, I think what you have done, if I may, and obviously I'm biased, but I think what you have done is you've organized, evaluated, and problem solved something that was going on with your social media. And in that, what I mean is you had determined that the connections that you had with the individuals that you're talking about was not providing something in return for you. And I
Yeah.
think it's important, as I said in the beginning, once you're able to define what your use of social media is going to be all about, I think that will be your guidepost about how you move forward with it. And that's to say also that not everyone has the same for social media. Some
Yeah.
people utilize it as a way to make friends. Some people utilize it as a way to connect with people who are not geographically close.
Some
Other
people
people are
use it
just
to make money. It's a
Mhm.
business now.
Absolutely. They
Mhm.
monetize ideas. They want to share ideas. We've got the five spheres, obviously, on social media. So we want to obviously expand our reach to individuals about an idea that we believe so strongly about. With respect to your specific question, here's what I would say. I think oftentimes that connections on social media can turn into something that we never anticipated. If we truly have friends, generally speaking, we have a personal connection and we have an in-person connection. So I think social media kind of like supports the relationship. And if you're finding that if you're sharing or if you're going through things and the friends or the people you believe are friends are not supportive of you in those situations, I think it's perfectly okay to make the decision because of growth mindset to say, hey, this is not a healthy relationship for me,
Right.
and I want to move on from it. Does that make sense?
100%. And it's making me realize that, these two individuals, I had felt like it was becoming a one-sided friendship
Mhm.
where I was asking, hey, how are you guys? What's new? What are you working on these days? But it wasn't being reciprocated. And I think
Right.
that's why when I saw certain things that they would post, it was
Yeah.
affecting my mental health in the sense like it would make me feel bad and then I would dwell on it. So I was like, well, these aren't friendships then,
Right.
right?
And I think
Or
I
healthy
think
ones.
of course, and I think you've made, again, we all get to that point, and hopefully we all get to that point where we can very thoughtfully and very honestly evaluate the relationships that we keep in our life. And Sabrina, you're talking about people who aren't even family members. There are situations where individuals may be impacted very negatively by family members on
Mhm.
social media, and as such, are struggling. And I would also go so far as to say it is perfectly okay to unfollow, unfriend, whatever the way you do that is, to do that for your own growth and for your own sustainability and your own health and fitness. This social sphere can, just as you said, can be detrimentally impacted by or can detrimentally impact your mental sphere. And if you are not in a good place, it behooves you to make these changes. And if it means removing people who are not actually quote unquote friends, then go ahead and do that. Because again, at the end of the day, your life is subjective. It is all about you. It is all about your health and wellness and fitness. And you can be the best version of yourself only when you've got this positivity around you that allows you to be the best version of yourself.
Well, I guess I answered the question I originally asked. If someone removes me from social media or vice versa, I remove them, you know, maybe we aren't the friends we thought, and that's
Sure.
okay.
Sure.
We're all trying to grow. Well, hopefully we're growing and, trying to move forward.
Absolutely. There's got to be, Sabrina, at all turns, and I mean this sincerely, there's got to be at all turns an authenticity and a kindness when you're interacting specifically on
Mhm.
social media, because my goodness, they're not even there with you. They're not going through it with you. And so if you're jumping onto social media to utilize that and all you're getting back is a feeling of being let down or negativity, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why even continue in that that exchange, that relationship, if it's doing nothing for you? And I think it's important for our viewers to recognize that it is okay to make those changes, and there may be some fallout from that. And I'm not saying there won't be, but whatever's best for you in that situation could be removing someone from your social media and moving forward with a growth mindset for yourself.
Great. I really love the way you explained the um, connection between the social sphere when it comes to this and your mental sphere. So thank
Mhm.
you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes. Have a great day, everyone.